Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now I was going to go ahead and pick a Kerby page last night. These are all my Kerby books here, and I thought it'd be nice to go through my finished pages again. Now I have got quite a few of Kerby's books. I've got doubles in some of them as well. I've got a couple of his poster books, but I haven't completed anything in them yet, so I didn't want to include them in this video. I don't know how long it's going to be, and I will try my best to remember what mediums that I've used in each of the books. But I've got to say, out of all of his books, Mythomorphia is still my favourite, which is this one. This is my favourite all time of Kerby's. Now I'm going to get these in somewhat of an order and then come back. Channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie and I do everything to do with art, whether that be adult colouring, acrylic work, watercolour, diamond painting. I love it all, and I do try and include a variety on my channel. So like I said, if you're new here, hi, and please do subscribe and leave me a big thumbs up. Now, I was about to pick a Kerby page out, and I was thinking, I don't think I've actually shared my finished pages from Kerby's books in a long while now, and considering that I colour at least one page a month, and last month there was about 3 or 4, if not five, so I want to do an updated version, basically, Now I do own a lot of Kerby books. I've got half of these books I've got doubles of, and I've got the poster books, but I'm not going to include the poster books because I've not done anything in them yet. And I've got one book that I've not done anything in, so I'm not including that one. But as you can see, I love Kerby Rosanes. I love Kerby Rosanes. It was him and Hannah Calzone that got me into this whole rabbit hole. A good rabbit hole. So yeah, Kerby Rosanes' boots are always, you know, they're going to hold a special place in my heart because they're the ones that give me the kick up the bum that I needed and the incentive to really start not necessarily using my imagination, but getting my creativity out there. That's what these books did for me, and I just love them. So anyway, let's get started. These won't be in any particular order, I'm just going to pull them as I see fit. So I think we'll start off with Colourmorphia. Now this is a mixture of some of his books, not all of them, because there's been new books released since this one. So I'm going to flip from the back to the front. I hope that you don't mind, it'll just make it a little bit easier for myself. So this was a very early one, but I remember, I've not got enough room. I remember being incredibly proud of this one. Like I said, it was a very early one. I did start dating some of my Hannah Calzone pages. Unfortunately, I didn't date any of my Kerby Rosanes ones, which I'm kicking myself about. But the background, I started off with oil pastel there. That was one of the first times of me using it, trying to blend it out, not really knowing what I was doing, and then I switched to a cheap soft pastel for the background. I think the pencils, they might have been Black Widow. I mean, this was years ago now that I did this piece. So yeah, it's an old one. It's an old one, but I think it's really fun to look back at some of our older colouring pages or older art and see how much that we've progressed. Now this one, I didn't even do a background, and if you know me and my channel, I'm all about the background, so that's strange for me to see that. I think I did this with Crayola Super Tips and some sort of pencil over the top. Now again, when I first started colouring, everyone was harping on about the Crayola Super Tips, and they just weren't for me, unfortunately. The water-based markers, I found them very streaky, and they just didn't work for me. Whoever can work with them pens are absolutely amazing colourists. I just can't, unfortunately. It's just one of them things. But that's that page. I don't want to make this video like an hour long, so I will, you know, be a little bit quicker. This is a more recent one. Now I do believe that I filmed this from start to finish as a time lapse, and it's watercolour background. I think he even based this little guy as well with watercolour, or it might have been Neocolor 2s. It might have been Neocolor 2s. And we've got glitter on this one, so I'm not 100% sure what glitter that is. I would be lying if I said I remembered, but there is like a smoke cloud of glitter around him. That's the sort of effect that I was going for, and some sort of metallic watercolour as well with that one. I do like how that one turned out. Actually, I like the colours that I used, really lovely and vibrant. There is a little bit of bleed through there, as you can see. What else have I done? Have I not done it? I'm going to keep this one out to one side because I want to show you the second version of this. I did this, was it the Ohuhu? No, I've done the dragon page in the Ohuhu markers, and the background with this was Crayola Super Tips, and it looks not too bad on camera, but if I bring it up, it's incredibly patchy. And I've put stickles on the background. I was really happy with this at the time. I don't know why I went for multicoloured dinosaurs, I have no idea. And before anybody says, well, we don't actually know what colour dinosaurs were, I'm pretty sure that there'd be more realistic greens and browns, not pinks and blues and purples like I imagined a couple of years ago. I'm just saying that before I get comments. My little beetles, and this was with Black Widow pencils. Again, they're not my favourite sort of pencils. If you can get them to work for you, absolutely amazing. I just couldn't get them to work for me, unfortunately. So I do want to keep this page out because I want to show you my updated version of my T-Rex. I actually would love to colour him again, but without all the extra dinosaurs, just the T-Rex head I would love to do. But we're skipping ahead to Fragile Worlds now. Now I have got 2 copies of this book. I've got one copy that I intended to use on mixed media, and then the other one I was just going to use pencil. But I don't like just using pencil. I find it boring, and you know, I like to change things up. This page I did end up using a gesso. I can't remember which gesso it was, but it's super duper rough. Hear it? If I do that on a normal page, it's really incredibly rough. But as you can see, it worked with the watercolours really well. I think this was just a cheapo gesso that I used. I hadn't dip my toes into the more expensive stuff at this point, like the Daniel Smith watercolour grind. So that worked a treat, and it was just easy. I'd done this page in a couple of hours, even though it's a massive double page spread. Acrylic for the splash details as well. I really love that page actually, and I think I'm going to pull my watercolours out and gesso another page, because I remember how much fun that I had doing this, and I wasn't like worrying about the blending. It was just chuck that colour on and have loads of fun with it, and this is how it turned out. I've got another page like that. It's the planets page with the asteroids and stuff. So we have got a bit of bleed through, you know, not to worry. I keep saying as well, these boots cost £5 in the UK. So, you know, as long as it gives me some sort of enjoyment, I don't mind if it goes through to another page. I will buy myself another copy, and even if I can't buy myself another one, I'll be able to save that with paint and acrylic paint and pencil, and you know. This one is acrylic background again. I started off with a pen, some sort of pen in the background. You see at the top where it's shiny and it's different from the rest, and then I thought I can't sit there, it took me ages to do that. So I just went in with black acrylic, and I think these armadillos. I think they're armadillos, but I really thoroughly enjoyed doing this page. I went for a more realistic colour with these ones. I did actually use a reference picture for these, and I really enjoyed doing these. Sometimes I just like to do, again, change it up. They don't have to be brown. They could be pink, they could be orange, whatever colour you wanted, but in this mood that I was in, I wanted them to be, you know, realistic colours, and I can't remember the pencils with that, I'm not gonna lie. This was a bit of a doo-doo page. Just trying to, I didn't gesso this page. Let me just double check. No, I didn't gesso this page, and it is watercolour, and I hated the way that it turned out. Absolutely hated it. I tried the salt effect with the background in the sky, and it just, everything about this page, it's a strong word, but I'm going to say it, I despise. You see, ugh. And then why did I think it was a good idea to put neon gel pens over the fish? I don't know, but I have got a second copy of this book, so I will give this picture a go again. I picked this one out purely because if you watched it, the David Attenborough series Galapagos, it was talking about the iguanas, the sea iguanas, and they go to the bottom of the sea and they eat the seaweed off the sea floor, and these are the only iguanas in the world that do that because they've changed and adapted. Why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you that? Yeah, so I don't really like this page. Watch David Attenborough. You do learn stuff. My red panda and my, I nearly said snow leopard. Is it a snow leopard? Is it? No, because a snow leopard's grey, I think. Anyway, this is not a double page spread. I did these two at separate times. I think I did the red panda first. And again, that's watercolour, white acrylic, bit of pencil detail, super duper easy, simple to do, and it's effective. And then similar on this side, and I think I did record most of this. I did record most of it. Now I tried to not make it a double page spread, but make it match a little bit with the white acrylic. I went a little bit overboard with this one, but I did want it to match, and I do like these pages. I do think that they came out really nice. As you can see as well, the book isn't too thick considering how much mixed media I've used in this book. It's just been flattened out on my bookshelf. Are these the wild dogs? No, they're not the wild dogs. I can't remember the name of them. Number 50. Let me just double check. Page 21. Wolves. The wolves, these ones. Again, all watercolour. With very, very, very minimal pencil work on this. Very minimal. It's just mostly watercolour. I've not gessoed this either. It's just straight onto the paper on this one. Watercolour again. All of it watercolour. I'm just checking. And a tiny, teensy bit of pencil shading. I mean a tiny bit. And again, white acrylic for the sea and the waves. Incredibly easy. Incredibly easy and just simple and relaxing for me to do. I need to pull my watercolours out again with this book. I really do. This one I'm uber proud of. Really, really incredibly proud of this one. Again, all watercolour, but I use the Derwent drawing pencils to shade in the leopard and add all the black. And then white acrylic again for all the white that you can see, and like the splashes and stuff, that's all white acrylic. Again, just really incredibly easy to do. I can't sit here for hours and hours and hours and hours with just a pencil in my hand. I'd soon get bored and I'd not finish the picture. Another one with watercolour. I'm actually surprised myself how much watercolour I've actually used in this book. But clearly I was inspired off Jaws with this one. With the amount of blood that I've added to the shark's mouth and all the blood splatter and stuff. Again, I think it turned out super cool, this one. I don't think I used pencil work, or if I did, it was again just really, really minimal. This page is gessoed. It is gessoed. I can tell, you can feel the difference. Any more in this one? Yep, and this is the first one that I did in this book. I do remember this one and thinking that they were absolutely adorable. Black acrylic background. And it was probably a white Posca pen because I wasn't using my white Rosanes pen at this point. And for the pencils, I can't remember, I'm not going to lie, but it is pencil. It's pencil over watercolour, but only a little bit. So let's move on to Fragile Worlds Part 2. And I don't think I've done many in my second copy. I think I've done maybe 2, so I've done the bats. So I've not just done pencil with this. This is either pan pastel or, let me just check. Yes, it's pan pastel. It's got a very, very slight glitter to it. Can you see there? And it's like a fine glitter mixed in with the pan pastel with this one. And just pencil work. Like I said, I want to try and stick with not wet mediums in this book, but I know what I'm like. I know what I'm like, and I'm soon get bored. So this one is a Distress ink background, my butterfly, and that black that you can see that is really, really cool is the Sakura Jelly Roll glaze in black. Really cool pen. I've got probably a million backups of them because I go through so many of them. They're just so cool, and I recently got a pink and a purple and I like them just as much. And some stickles, and the rest of it is just pencil work on this guy. Actually, let me just... I've used some Tombow markers on this. I don't own the Tombow brush markers anymore. I did sell them a while ago because I wasn't using them. But this is one of the pages I did actually use them on. again, that came back to somebody else had it and they were saying how brilliant they were for colouring books, so I bought it and then I didn't use them. So it's one of them things. Anamorphia, I've only got one copy of this one. His older ones, apart from Mythomorphia, aren't my favourite. Even though I do like them, they're not my favourite because all these squiggly things and, you know, like these little guys, I wish they weren't on there. And like pages like this, I mean, maybe one day I'll have the imagination to do with them, but not at the moment, not at the moment. Then I've got my zebra page. I think that I started this off on my channel, but I'm not 100% sure. So I just use a black acrylic to black out all of the background, and then in between the stripes as well, all black acrylic. And then all this is tissue paper that I just ripped up so it fit, and then popped a bit of PVA glue over the top, and then just metallic watercolour just splattered all over the background. And again, it was just easier. Mixed media, oh excuse me, mixed media, and it was just fun to do. Have I put some of that liquid chrome on? No, that is, let me just find it because it's a cool pen this. It is liquid chrome mirror effect pen, but I have got a chrome watercolour paint that is nicer than that, but that's just easier to use. What else have we done? I've done a double page spread of the peacocks. Now this was an old one, a very basic watercolour background, black acrylic again, but I actually used nail polish where you can see it all shining. That is an old OPI nail polish that my mum gave me, and instead of chucking it away, I've used it for art, and I think it works a treat. And it was probably at the time Black Widow, and you can see all this here, that's Crayola Super Tip. Really don't like that, really don't like that at all. We've got another mixed media page, and I had a bit of a whoopsie with this one. The background is all watercolour. You've got texture paste, you've got glitter paste, that's what all this is here, and you've got it in black there. That is, what was that paper called? It was like cardstock, but all different patterns and shapes on it. So I just cut it out in the shape of his horn. So there wasn't actually any colouring in this one, and washi tape and glitter, but it was just a fun one, So the whoopsies that I had with the eyes, I put glossy accents over the eyes to give them a glossy effect, and I didn't let it dry. I thought it was dry, and I've shut the book, and then the eyes have ripped off. That was unfortunate, but it's one of them things sometimes that happens. So that is Anamorphia. Then we've got Worlds Within Worlds. I do own 2 copies of this one. Now this might be the one that I've not done anything in, or I've done very little in. Oh yeah, there's my Viserys Dragon Eye from Game of Thrones. Ooh. I've got a second copy of this, so I'll keep this one out as well. This is the second time I did this image, should I say. But yeah, I did base it on Game of Thrones Viserion when he gets changed into a White Walker. And I think I filmed this one, and I'm still incredibly proud of this. That sparkle that you can see is Spectrum Noir Sparkle Pen. I do believe that this is watercolour and Prismacolor and black acrylic for his pupil, I think. I did actually go over the underneath, it's like a city underneath, and I went over with a white acrylic, a couple of layers it took, and then the Prismacolor over the top. And then we have the turtle page, Distress Ink background. I think I might have filmed this one as well actually, I'm not entirely sure. And I think it was Inktense pencils with this one. I think it was all Inktense pencils in Distress Ink, so a really like mucky looking one, grungy looking one. Another dinosaur. I had this one on my to-do list for ages and ages and ages, and I finally got it done. And most of it again is just watercolour with a little bit of pencil detailing. I would like to do this one again, and I think I will do it again. Change the background colour. Don't like the background colour. Wish I'd chosen a different colour. But we'll see. We'll see. It is a big detailed double page spread, this one, if I wanted to commit to doing this one again. So yeah, that's my Stegosaurus with houses on his back. I'm going to keep this out. I'd just like to show you the the difference. So this is my other copy of World Within Worlds. Why have I got tags in here still? Was I meant to take a picture of these for Instagram, or have I not shown these on the channel? Let me just check, because I'm slightly confused. I think that's a page that I wanted to do. Anyway, so we'll go back to the Rams. Look at the background. How sparkly that is. That is the Renaissance watercolour in chrome. That is the watercolour that I always go on about. And then the rest of it is just normal watercolour with a bit of pencil over the top. But I think it's quite cool doing the opposites of colours. What else have we got? Oh, the Pteranodons. This was one of the first ones that I did in this book. I've got a funny feeling I'm going to do this page again, but not do them in such in your face colours. Maybe try and go a little bit more traditional with this one, but maybe do the opposite with these. Make them blue leaves, make them pop out, and make some sort of background. I don't know. I do like it, don't get me wrong, but if I did it again I'd do it differently. Another one that I think that this was a live stream, or it might have been a time lapse, and I used the Pretty Excellent watercolours, a really nice budget friendly watercolour, Posca pens and stickles on the background. Just really simple. Yeah, so there's a tag in there because I wanted to tackle one of these pages, not necessarily both of them, just double checking. Yeah, so we've got my whales watercolour again, and lots and lots and lots of stickles. So there's not a lot of gesso in this one actually, which I'm surprised about. Yeah, I'm surprised about that, because I've used gesso so much in the other books, so I wonder why I've not done with this one. But yeah, this is my whales. I love the colour of this one, I love the background, really really pretty delicate colours. Sloth, I know for a fact that I did some of this in a recording because it ended up being upside down. I recorded it upside down and I did not know how to change it in the editing. But there's my little sloth guy. We've got my beta fishes. This one was done first, I think, and then this one was second. And I just blacked out all the rest of the illustration, all the borders and dolphins and stuff. Foreground in a flower. Why am I keeping all that page? Foreground in a flower, really really beautiful. And the glitter that you can see actually is Woe embossing powder glitter. You see how sparkly that is, and it doesn't seem to have fallen off. It's behaved itself, that one. And there's a little bit on the butterfly as well there. What else have we got in here? This one was a whoopsie. I've still not come back and fixed this. I probably won't. If I want to do this page, I'll just do it in the other copy of the book. This one is not my usual style of colouring. It was the Derwent, what's it called? It's not the charcoal. Graphitint? Yeah, the Graphitint. This was all Graphitint, and then I think this was Neo Colour 2s. But yeah, it's a colour palette that I'd not usually go for, but it's a nice change. I do like the effect that I ended up pulling off in the end. But yeah, it's just a change for me. What else have we got? So here's the other dragon eye. Let me show you this page first. So this is the other page that I was talking about earlier on that I just chucked everything at. I'd like to do this one again, tackle it differently, not make all this multicoloured. It's a little bit of a mess, this page, I'm not going to lie, with the amount of splodges and stuff on, but I clearly had fun with it, so that's all that matters. So here is my other dragon page, and she is, or he is, very shimmery, and that is KGA Designs by Karen Watercolour. So if I pull this back out now, that was my first attempt at this page, and that is my more recent one. That's not recent now, it's probably, it's over a year old now, I think, this actually, but that's my most up-to-date one. You can see the difference in the colour in there. I love them. I love looking back at pages that you've done it twice and you can see the difference of your art. You keep doing it every day, you're gonna get better. It just takes practice. I do think that I'll be able to do that even better now, but why should I do it again? Because it's for service. It's for service. Maybe if I did it again and did it as Drogon, maybe. So that is World Within Worlds. And then we have, oh, we've got Mythic World. So I've not included my other copy of this because I've not touched it yet. It's just there as a backup. I'm quite a bit in this already, and it is his newest release. I'm looking forward very much to his Alien one. I've done this page, black acrylic background, watercolour for the moon, or Neocolor 2s I think for that one. This one was started on a live stream. I don't know what he is. Is he an elf? He's an elf. This is a very, very recent one. You can see how glittery this one is. This one was a labour of love. A labour of love. A lot of pencil work on this, which is not like me. And then watercolour on the wings. We had a bit of a whoopser. There is a whole video on that if you want to see. I've got this one. I can't remember the name of the animal that I based it off. It's from a computer game that I used to play. I've not played it for a long time. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it, but that's what I based it off. So I looked at a reference picture online and copied the colours. Mostly Neocolor 2s for this, and I whited out most of the smoke in the background, the line art, and added my own back in. Really cool, this one. I think, was this the first one I did in this book? I want to say yeah it is, but that might be a lie. This one is a mixed media page. All this at the bottom is it texture paste? Something paste it was. Again, there's a video on this one. And if I just, you can hear it, it's all really, really textured. And a galaxy sky for this one. And it's gessoed, this page. It is gessoed, and the majority of the rest of it was watercolour. What else have we got? We've got the double page spread in Wales. I did start this on a stream, I think. Pretty sure I did actually, for most of the background. All watercolour, again. All watercolour. I bet you're sick of hearing me say that now. But this is the first page that I based with the Daniel Smith watercolour grind. So yeah, I was still at the testing phase with this. And I do prefer one of the other gessos, if I'm honest, looking at the difference, and especially with the price. But in saying that, feeling this now, it's incredibly smooth. With that other one, it is really, really rough. So the pencil over the top of this didn't work too bad. It worked quite well actually. Whereas the pencil over the top of the cheaper gesso, it eats your pencils. Really does eat your pencils. So I'd use your more budget friendly ones. But a wash of white acrylic over this to make it look like it's actually underwater. I can't remember now. I was going to say maybe that was the first one. I can't remember. Did this one as a time lapse, the dragon, mostly watercolour, and Winsor & Newton ink for the border. This one was a very, very recent one, mixed media, watercolour, Neocolor 2s, acrylic, there's inks, there's pencil. Yeah, that is all on my channel if you are interested. And then we've got the Phoenix. We've got the Phoenix, which is all Neocolor 2s. Super fun, that one. And I did base this. I wanted to do this as soon as I saw this page when I did a flip through. I wanted to do a Harry Potter page, you know, with the deer that's all white in one of the films. And then I saw somebody else do it, and they beat me to it, so I thought I'm not doing that because I don't want people thinking that I'm copying them. Even though you can take inspiration off other people, I didn't want them thinking that, so I stopped. I just did the branches, but I can always come back, just base them with Neocolor 2s. So we have Mythomorphia. We've got 2 copies of this. Try and be a bit quicker. Try and be a bit quicker. Where have I got a thing here? Right, so this is a whip of the mermaid. I think I actually started this one when I dislocated my knee and I was bed bound and sofa bound eventually. And I did this one, and I don't think I was happy with how it was coming on. That's why I've just left it and not come back to it, unfortunately. And it would have been all Prismacolor, that one. So that's the only pencils I had with me. Another page that I based Viserion on, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I hate with a passion these drips. Oof, I wish I'd not done that. I'm really disappointed in myself. But I have got a second copy. I can give it another go. What else have we got? So this must be the one that I've not done as much in. Yeah. This is my second version of the Griffin, so I'll keep this out and show you my first version. I'm mostly watercolour on this one with a little bit of pencil. I think there's a pencil on the mountains, and all the rest of it is watercolour, and I do believe that most of this is recorded. If you're interested, if you ever just want to type in the search bar "colour me stress free" and then Kerby Rosanes at the end of it, all my Kerby Rosanes videos will pop up, just so it stops you from having to search through them. So I'll keep that one out as well. My other Mythomorphia one, I can tell this is the one that I did alcohol markers in. I just got the Ohuhu alcohol markers and I just wanted to test them. And this is the page that I decided to test. I sacrificed that page behind it as well, because of course alcohol markers do bleed through. My Sea Serpent, I think that's what it's meant to be. Mostly watercolour, but a really early one, this one. I'd like to do this one again. You can see that I just put one wash of colour and I thought that was enough. I should have gone over and shaded each of the scales to make it look, you know, more poppy, but I didn't. A big whoopsie page. I think I was trying to base it with a shining metallic acrylic paint, and then I don't know what was going through my mind with this one. I've no idea. We have the werewolf. I remember being incredibly proud of this one. It was done a couple of years ago in Neocolor 2s and acrylic paint, and I was incredibly proud. But looking back now, I can probably do a lot better. So maybe when it comes to Halloween we can do a colour along with this one, and I can do little bits of it and show you how I do it. Another whip, Neocolor 2s, not come back to it, don't know why. There isn't many whips, mind you, there isn't many. Now this one, my husband chose the colours for me. I've got a book and it shows you all different colour combinations, and I passed in the book and I said, pick a colour combination, and this is the colours that he picked for me. But I think they worked quite well, and all that sparkle that you can see in the background is Mod Podge Extreme Glitter, and it is definitely extreme glitter, and it works beautifully on colouring pages. Absolutely beautiful. Thoroughly enjoyed doing this one. I love the feeling of the paper as well once it's dry. Really, really fun page, that one. And now I want to do this one again. There's so many pages I want to get done. This one was another one with a watercolour, and I think I did film some of this one, or maybe even all of it. I mean, I've got more than 400 videos on my channel now, so I can't really remember what I have and haven't. So this is the other Griffin that I did. This was really early on, and I was following a tutorial by Colour with Claire for the background. I think everyone's followed that tutorial now, the Neocolor 2 background. But that's my first version. Like I said, this is the second. So let me bring the camera up so you can actually see both of them. So there's the difference in 18 months, 2 years. I hope that you can see a difference, because I definitely can. I definitely can. With the way that I've put the pencil down here, to the shading, to the background, everything. But I was really, really proud of that when I followed Chloe's tutorial. I was very, very proud of myself. So yeah, I'm glad that I've still got that. Let me just check. No, there's no others in this one. So then we move on to these two. I'm going to class as one boot because you can buy them together, and I really, really, really dislike these. So let me explain first. Let me explain. The fact that these are the books, they should have been put together in the first place. You can buy them together now, but they were sold separately, and look at the difference of the thickness. So that firstly shocked me, but the actual illustrations themselves I'm not keen on. The only good point I will say about this book is the single-sided. So if you want to use your alcohol markers, these are the perfect boot for it. Maybe I'll give another page a go. These two boots actually have just become more tester pages now, just for me testing different mediums out. There's not really many illustrations in these boots that I definitely have to finish that one. Brochure testing. But I have seen a lot of beautiful finished pages in this book, but I've just not got the inspiration. There's one finished page all done in Neocolor 2s. So that is Geomorphia. Then we've got Phantomorphia, so a similar situation. What have we got in here? I will say, you know, it is single-sided, so if you want to use your alcohol markers, you can do really, really early one, that one. Really early. Not too keen. More testing. More testing. Brochure markers. I will say that one's pretty cool with the dragon. And I have seen that coloured beautifully, like the metal work. And I've done one finished page in that one. Nail colour 2s, background and alcohol markers. My sister would actually like this page if I coloured it in. She's into all schools and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's them ones. We've got 2 left. We've got Imagimorphia, and then I can never say this one, but it's another compilation book. It's a mixture of his other books. So what have we got in this one? My T-Rex should be in this one, I think, or is it in the other one? Not sure. We've got the owl. Really like this page. Watercolour background. And then just pencil work, I do believe. I'm just bringing it close to me just for check. Yeah, it is. Another whip that I've not come back to. Probably won't. If I've not come back to it after a couple of months, there's a good chance that it's not going to get finished. So this is my other T-Rex page. I adore this one. Adore this one. I wish that I could get this picture and it just be his neck. None of this stuff. Just his neck coming down. Even remove the volcano. I would love that. Absolutely love that, actually. So I'll have to bring the camera up a little bit more again just to show you my older one and then my newer one. So this is T-Rex and this is Rexy. This is Rexy off Jurassic Park. It's actually called Rexy, I do believe. Yeah, I'm incredibly proud of this one. Incredibly proud. The detail that I put into the skin and the scales to try and make it look realistic. I wish it didn't have this. I wish it didn't have this bit. But it is what it is. I'm not the artist, I'm just the colourist. But there is the difference. I hope that you can see the difference that I made. There's probably about, again, 18 months to 2 years between the two of them. So I can move that one now. I've just got Kerby books everywhere. And then we have the tiger, another really early one, all watercolour. Just simple. Another whip that I've not come back to. I started this one off in watercolour and actually I've gessoed this. Why on earth have I not come back and finished this? You might see this in a finished pages. That's just watercolour. And this one is a more recent one. I was proud of this one as well. Really simple to do. Black background, galaxy horns, splatters of paint and a little bit of pencil work. Really simple, really easy. Distress ink background. And then I can't remember what I used on the actual beetle, I do apologise. But I've used stencils and stuff on that one as well. And I think that's everything out of that one. I think overall that T-Rex page and the Viserion eye is my favourite. Please do let me know in the comments which is your favourite. So I've got another one of them Pegasus pages here that I could tackle in this book. Why have I left tags in them? Did I not show them? I'm taking the tags out now because I'm really confused. I'm really confused actually. All of this is watercolour again with a little bit of pencil work. 3/4 of the illustrations that I do in these boots, that's what I use. What else have I done in this one? Oh, the jaguar, leopard? Yes, leopards. Leopards, and I think I started this one off on a live stream as well. I was asking the people that were on the live stream with me to pick a page and we ended up picking that one. So why is there a tag in here? I think because I wanted to do the peacock, so I'll leave that in there for now. And I think that's everything. That is all of my finished pages. So I do hope that this video isn't going to be too long. And if you did make it to the end, leave me a star emoji. Leave me a star emoji if you got to the end of the video and let me know which one was your favourite Kerby pages. But like I said, I hope that it's not too long. Please do leave me a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you're new. I do these sort of videos, art videos, adult colouring, diamond painting, it's just a mixed bag over here, and I hope that you can join in. So until my next video, take care, bye.